in today's video, I want to talk about a topic that is quite a common concern among the PhD community and also in the community of postdocs and so on. In general, I would say everyone who has worked in science has this sense of guilt whenever you're working on something. Whether it is guilt because you're not working fast enough, because you're not publishing fast enough, because you're taking too much time to figure something out, I feel that it is important to talk about it and also raise awareness of how this feeling is normal and how there is nothing to be ashamed of. And also I want to give you some tips from my own experience and from the experience of my coaching clients, how we can overcome that. I think that there is no PhD student who never thought about how stupid they are, or how not, I would say maybe stupid is a strong word, but how not smart they are and how slow they are, or how they're not publishing fast enough and so on. And I feel this, it happened to me, it happened to, I would say, 100% of the PhD students that I have ever talked to, my clients or peers, colleagues, and so on. Why is this the case? I feel there are several reasons to why this happens. The first of all is the nature of the academic world nowadays that is forcing you to produce at a very, very fast pace in order to keep up, in order to stay relevant, in order to be someone, right, in the academic world, but also to establish yourself and so on. But also there is this other layer, which I think is something very typical for scientists who want to know the truth. Basically, why are you doing science? Because you want to find out how something works. You want to figure the thing out. It is normal to sort of feel some sort of frustration when you are not achieving that after not only one attempt, but 1,000 attempts. And whoever has done experimental work in the lab knows what I'm talking about. So what are some mechanisms? What are some things that you can do in order to sort of stop measuring your capability in terms of how much you produce, because clearly you cannot 100% control that, and instead focus on something that does depend on you and that does depend on how much effort you put in. Why? Because we know that no matter how much effort you put into things, sometimes science doesn't work that way. It doesn't give you proportionally the amount of effort that you put in. It doesn't give you that reward. Sometimes the reward comes at the very end of the PhD, or at the very end of the publishing process, or sometimes even never. Sometimes the whole purpose of your research was to move the knowledge of the community one step closer to the final solution. What are the things that we can do when we feel that way? And I feel this is very, very common when people are towards the end of their PhD and there are so many things to do. When you are finishing your PhD, it's not only about wrapping up the thesis and writing the thesis and that's it. There are experiments that are still undone, some hypotheses that failed last minute, you need to check that. You have probably some master students that you're supervising. Some of them have even teaching duties that need to go on. There are many things going on, and when we are juggling too many things at the same time, guilt kicks in really, really quickly. One of the things that I found very, very calming throughout that process was really to set some expectations from my list and for myself that I could meet no matter the external factor. For example, I knew that I couldn't control the outcome of an experiment. I knew that I couldn't control how fast some collaborators are going to answer or send me data, but I knew that I could control what I put on my to-do list and whether I achieve those things in a realistic way. For example, the thing that helped me most with this process was actually the discipline of dissecting the tasks that I need to do and really putting them and stating them as really, really tiny tasks that I knew are not going to be very overwhelming for me, and most importantly that I know are going to be achievable for me. For example, if I said that I would write something for my thesis or for my paper, I would not go all above and say, I will write chapter 1, or I will write, I don't know, the entire paper, or I will write the method section. No. I would say stuff like, I will write the first paragraph of the method section. Or, if you want to go even deeper, I will think about what the method section needs to contain. I will make an outline of the method section. Those are the things that are not necessarily impacted by the external world, right? Whether your experiment is going to fail or not, whether your collaborators are answering, whether your supervisor is present during the process, or you have an absent supervisor who doesn't care about your research. All of those things are in your control. And slowly, when you start building this habit of defining very, very small tasks and then actually doing them, it is going to have an effect of regaining confidence that you are actually capable of doing that. And when you learn that skill of making sure that your tasks are defined in a way that suit you, in a way that are actually doable for you, you are not only going to sort of stop feeling the guilt, but you are also going to help move yourself. You're going to move much faster throughout that entire process. And doing this, learning how to do this is exactly what I help PhD students do, especially late stage PhD students who are overwhelmed, who have many things on their plate. At that stage, I teach them how to structure all of that data, how to structure all of that information, and make sure that they can write that thesis, write that paper, submit that paper, publish, or submit or write their thesis or paper or proposal or whatever it is that they're doing. Because this is the ultimate skill. This is the thing that is going to make sure that you can move forward independently of the external factors, because you are relying on that system and not on basically an opinion someone has or whether your experiment is failing or not. So if you're interested in this kind of help, if you feel that you are lost in your research, if you feel that you don't know how to move forward, you don't know what's your next step, you don't know how to put all of the data that you have together, you don't know how to make sure that your research has a story that is worth publishing, I want to invite you to schedule a completely free intro coaching call with me. I will leave a link in the description down below where you can schedule it. And in that call, we can talk about where you're at right now with your PhD, what are the challenges, the struggles that you're experiencing, and see if I can help you and if we are a good fit to work together. Having said that, I hope that you found this video useful, and as always, see you in the next few days with another video. Bye bye.